Hello, I should be live. Welcome to Tara Smith's Kitchen. And I want to make some goulash today. Not the American version, actual goulash. I'm going to kind of throw it together here. So I think I'm corking a few other chats. And I'm doing this live, so it's going to take a little bit. I figure this is going to take about an hour and a half. And it'll be done, and I'll be going to bed. But we're going to start off. I got my heat on. Cool. Got just enough olive oil in here for the onions, and I have 2 large onions here. You can use 3 smaller onions, what have you. But that is 2 large onions. And we're going to start cooking these down for probably about 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be perfect. They're going to get cooked into the soup. So cut them up however you want them. You can cut them up finer. I wouldn't go much larger than this, but this will work. And that is 2 large onions. I used a white onion. You can use a sweet onion. As long as you have an onion there, you will be good. And there we go. And this is live, so we're going to wait for a minute. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of paprika. And we're going to get it all nice and paprika colored. So, and I'm probably going to add like 2 tablespoons of caraway seeds and maybe some marjoram. I don't know. We will see where it goes. And hopefully I don't lose my voice. The weather keeps changing. It's warmer, it gets colder. I go north. My day job's a truck driver, so I go to Michigan and all kinds of other places and back to Texas. It's not doing good. But I also have 2 pounds of stew meat that is still in the fridge because I have a mastiff in the house. And leaving that out is not a good thing. But we're going to keep cooking this down. And then we're going to add the paprika. Haven't decided when I'm going to add the caraway seeds yet. We're going to add the paprika. We're going to add the meat. Want to cook it down a little bit more. Then I'm going to add tomato paste to it, or tomato sauce. You can use tomato paste and put more water in it. You can use diced tomatoes. You can dice your own tomatoes. As long as you have tomatoes, you will be good. Don't see anybody out there at the moment. But if you do join, leave a comment so that I know you're there. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like button. That'll help me out. I'm going to stir these again. I'm also going to add 3 cloves of garlic. I'm not adding it just yet because garlic likes to burn. I have my stove on a medium heat right now. Just a little over medium. Sometimes nails would probably help. Now for the paprika, you do not want smoked paprika. I'm measuring this out. I will show you what to look for. Sweet Hungarian paprika or Hungarian paprika. Spanish, if you can't find that. I'm not on Rumble right now. Rumble was just too much to set up. I gotta go back through Rumble and figure out why this isn't rebroadcasting. Some of my stuff is, some of it isn't. I end up pouring that down the belly. I'm here yelling in the other room. That is 2 tablespoons. One more. There we go. And thank you, Mr. Krabby Turtle. We get that paprika all over everything. So we are going to be putting meat in here. I think Matt's live right now. So a lot of my audience is over there. I can't stay up all night waiting on everybody else's channel. There we go. And where is my garlic? I just did my normal smashing of the garlic. And what do I want to add? Hello, Bjorn. How are you? I might have a friend from the store watching tonight. I do not know. I think he gets off at 8. Okay, if I add marjoram, I'll wait till the end. These are caraway seeds, 2 teaspoons. I need to make some braided rolls with them, Husky. That's really good with the caraway seeds and the salt. I just haven't had time to actually make rolls and bread. Okay, let's get the meat. Oh, Lord. And of course, HEB, because I live in Texas and we shop at HEB. This is just stew meat. You can use pretty much any cuts of meat that you have laying around. Beef, that is. You can cut them smaller if you want. I'm using this floppy spatula. And I'm going to get that paprika all over the meat. Hold on. Our scheduled interruption. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. No, I haven't cooked it with venison, but I'm sure you can. You want to send me some venison? I can try. Next thing I'm going to add will be tomato, I'm just using tomato sauce. Like I said, you can dice up your own tomatoes. You can buy diced tomatoes. You can buy peeled tomatoes. You can use tomato paste and add more water. As long as you have tomato, you are good. The recipe is not that specific. But we are going to use 2 cans. And do not throw the cans away, because we are going to use them again. Onion everywhere. My little furry helper came in here. The other one's been going crazy. Let this cook for another 2 or 3 minutes. So what are y'all up to? What's the weather like where y'all are at? I heard a lot of the country is getting hit with a winter storm again. And thank God I'm local so far this week. I do not want to be running in that. I had enough on the last trip. Constantly clean because I make a mess. Yarn, more snow. Have a nephew named Life. So names like that do run in one side of my family. Oh, that's Lent. I was wondering what that was. She comes in here throwing something away. I'm like, what is that? Yeah, snow out here, and it's been below 30 for a couple of weeks now. Yeah. Some parts of the country are like that. Like, when I was going to North Dakota all the time, it would get to where it was just below freezing all the time. The snow just never left. It'd warm up to like 12 degrees, and it would start snowing. Then it'd go down to negative 12. And it's like it took the snow out of the air, but it was still blowing. And that kind of sucked. But it's money. You haven't had snow in a few years? Later, Bjorn. Stay warm. I forget where you're at, Krabby Turtle. Mid-Atlantic area. Okay. Maryland. Oh. I have family in Maryland. Family that doesn't really know me, and they have money that I will never see, but I don't care. It's not my money. Yes, definitely. Yep, for freedom. Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, all through there. It's my dad's side of the family. That's where I'm going this summer, hopefully. I'm trying to put back the money. I can afford the gas. The hotels is a different story. I gotta start looking harder at that. So I'm gonna need at least I'm gonna need at least 3 hotels going up and 3 going back. So that's 6 hotels. And that's easily going to be $1,000 in hotels. I do have a subscribe star that's linked on my Patreon, or my Patreon. Have a Patreon. It's linked on my channel. I also have a subscribe star that's linked on my other channel. And if anyone wants to join that, that's for the trip. Cat, I can hear you. I know. She's talking over there. I see how that stew meat is down in the juices there. Yes, she will not be ignored. And if I need to add any more water, I will use one of these. Thicken it up if needed, and it'll need a little thickening. I'm going to use breadcrumbs that I bought. You have some old rye bread you want to make breadcrumbs out of, that would work great. And I need to add salt too, but not yet. This stuff has a lot of salt in it, and I want to taste it. When and where is my next job? I'm doing a local run tomorrow, doing environmental stuff, which we do a lot of environmental. We do chemicals and environmental, which is chemicals and waste and stuff like that. A lot of environmental. And so we're picking up the drums and everything and bringing them back, and then we will take them for disposal, sort them, and take them where they need to go. Did you like the guitar stuff on my other channel? It's out of curiosity, because I've been basically picking it back up. You kind of put it down, you pick it up, you put it down, you pick it up. And it took me over a year after my accident to be able to raise my arm up even level. So I wasn't playing a whole lot of guitar. There we go. I'm going to add the marjoram more towards the end for a reason. And I'm going to use my fingers to kind of open up the oils before I drop it in, kind of like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I sent you one on Instagram. And if you notice, I'm not making dumplings this time. One of the reasons for that is they usually don't make dumplings. They go to the store and buy them like we buy bread. They have their own brands and everything. I might order some just to try them out on my channel. Growing up, when my mom would make anything like this, my mom is not Czech, not in any way. That's my father's side of the family. But all her brothers and sisters happened to marry into Slavic families. So then I ended up with all these great aunts and everything, which were my cousin's grandmothers. And they were always cooking stuff like this. But when my mom would cook stuff like this, she would just use regular bread. And just regular butter your bread and put it on a plate. And so that's what I'm going to do tonight, which is more than likely what you would do anyways. I don't think most of y'all are going to take the time to make the dough and boil the bread and cool it and slice it. So kind of more realistic, if that makes any sense. I was also cooking this down because Haiti bouncing around. All the juices from the onion and the meat and stuff so that I don't add too much water to it. Hello, Vanessa Kitty. How are you? But now I'm going to, I'm just going to butter some bread. And I'm going to look into ordering like the kind of dumplings with just boiled loaves of bread, that they would have over there. And I'm going to see if I can get some for here. Oh, Vanessa, she voted for goulash. Well, that's what I'm making. It was overwhelming. Let me see. Let me go to my community tab. Where we at? Yeah, 71% goulash, 29% kapuzniak. Hovězi Guláš. So that is what we are making. So you got what you voted for. I've been so busy, I haven't had time to actually do anything. I've got some stuff for my other channel done, but it's mostly trying stuff out because I am figuring out stuff with my computer for not only the stuff with the guitar, not only doing the reviews and everything, but I'm figuring it out so that I can put more cameras and stuff in here where I'm at. Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's kind of what you do with dumplings and stuff, is you put them in the freezer and you bring them out. And there's a way that you warm them up. Like, You can set them on top on something, a little water in the bottom, let the steam kind of warm up the bread. Or if you have a steamer or them things that you put in like a skillet or something for steaming, and you put the bread on top of that and warm it up, it works really good. Yeah, that works really good. I wish I had an actual freezer on the truck that would work amazingly. Pat in a bunker, how are you doing? Thank you for joining the chat. We're making goulash. And I'm going to wait just a few more minutes before I decide if I'm going to add some more water. I'm cooking for real. Like, I'm not going from a recipe book or anything like that. I'm just kind of throwing stuff together. How you would actually do it. In reality, most recipes aren't an exact science. You voted for goulash too. Awesome. It's there are some things you need to be very exact with, but most of them you can play around with a little bit, or if you don't have one ingredient, you can use something that's kind of close or what have you. But that may just be my perspective from growing up poor and having to make do. You like a thicker goulash? Yeah, well, this one's going to probably be pretty thick. I don't think I'm adding much water. DJ Play Nice, how are you doing? Cat's up there playing with a bag. The onions came in. He had to find a translator. Oh, yeah. Hungary and Austria are both below what used to be Czechoslovakia. I can't remember if the Czechs were under Hungarian or Austrian influence, because before Czechoslovakia, there was the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And you have Bohemia, Moravia, and a couple of other countries. But the two biggest ones would be like Bohemia and Moravia. And Bohemia is what's now the Czech Republic. And in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, they had their spheres of influence. It was basically Austria controlled these countries and Hungary controlled these countries. So I can't remember which one they were under the influence of, but after World War I, it became the Czechoslovakia. And there is a difference, although the language is really, really close, there's a difference. I believe the Slovaks were the ones that are like, we want our own thing. And so they split after the Velvet Revolution. And it's where they broke free from communism. You know, the whole fall of the Berlin Wall and the Soviet Union and all that stuff. And the Czech Republic actually has their own version of the Second Amendment. Because apparently they did not like communism, and that is not happening again. Turn it down a little bit. Don't want it quite boiling that high. Kind of like a low boil. So about 10-15 more minutes. make me a bigger mess. And this is something you're going to have to kind of do by feel. I don't have an exact measurement. These are breadcrumbs. Just cheap store-brand breadcrumbs. No, I don't like using a big chunk of rye bread and turning it. It makes me mush in there. I don't even do that with the garlic soup. I like, there's another channel called the Czech Cookbook, and I saw her do, when she did her garlic soup, she made the croutons with the rye bread. And my God, I like that so much better. That's what I do from now on if I use rye bread, is I make croutons out of it. And that is amazing. If you haven't checked her channel out, she is a much better cook than I am. And I think she lives somewhere near Brno. And if you're a Mauser fan, yes, that is where the factory was. I think she lived in America for a while, and she lives over there again. But her channel is the Czech Cookbook. You can find her on Instagram and on YouTube. And she has like amazing desserts and stuff like that. I am not in her league in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I mean, just artistry. I can make good kolaches, but you look at her cookies and all that stuff that she makes and the artwork that she puts into them. It is amazing. Yeah, I can cook you some good food, but she is on a whole nother level. That should be about enough. And there's my cat again. That one's mine. Lola is technically Amy's cat. Chloe was my son's cat that became my cat. We hear you. We hear you. I know, I know. A teaspoon of the margarine. Probably not even going to use a teaspoon. Put it in there like that. In about 5 more minutes, this should be done. You were talking about your Hungarian chef. There's definite influence from there. You see a puppy? Yeah, a puppy's in there too. There's definite influence because if you look at that area, you can fit all these countries probably in Texas. We're talking going from like Romania the Czech Republic, Austria, Hungary, Slovakia, Ukraine. I mean, the distance from like Prague to Kiev, Prague in the Czech Republic to Kiev in the Ukraine. That's like driving from Houston to Dallas, and Poland's to the north. You just figure like the whole of Eastern Europe is like the south of the United States in size. To go from Prague to like Moscow would be like driving from Houston to Chicago. So there's definite influence in there. Like a lot of the food, I've got comments from people before where one lady was saying that what I was cooking was traditional Romanian food. And another lady was like, oh, that's traditional Hungarian food. And some of it kind of is. But there's also a little bit of carryover with different names. Like pierogies, Ukraine has their own version by a different name. Figuring out how to cut dough in a circle, fill it with something, fold it in half was not unique to the Polish. Neither was cabbage soup. Especially in an area that small. And considering all of us came from Ukraine to begin with, the Russians, the Poles have a really good story. I can't remember how they call it. It's like Czech something and Russ. It's basically like three brothers. And the three brothers when they left and where they went. And it's the story of the migration. Because in a lot of the lands, there were Germanic people a long, long time ago. And there was that migration where they moved further west. And then the Slavs that were down around like Ukraine and that area moved out into the lands that they left. This is long before there was ever a Germany or anything like that, because the Nordic people were Germanic people at the time. And if you look at the gods and stuff like that they followed, they're very similar. Similar gods with a different name, that sort of thing. There's a reason for that. Here, cat is on the cable box. It's his heating pad. That's an interesting story. Let me see if I can look that up. Okay, it's Lech, Czech, and Rush. Refers to the founding legend of three Slavic brothers who founded the three Slavic peoples. The Poles, the Czechs, and what is that? The Rus. So Rus have their own kind of thing with Nordic people too. It's an interesting history. But if you want a pretty cool story, the Polish have a cool story about that, the migration, moving out there. The Polish do. So this is about done. I did not add any more water. Now I want a plate or a bowl. What do I want? I do not know. I could not find my cutting board today. I have no idea why. I just couldn't find it. Here. HEB, spreadable butter. Because why not? Didn't matter if my mom fixed spaghetti or anything else. You got a slice of bread with butter. So that is what I'm gonna have. I don't know if I want to put the goulash on a plate or in a bowl. You're about to find out. Which one did I do? I'm going to taste this. I do need to do. How much salt it needs. Always taste your food. Definitely needs salt. Much better. So I guess I'm putting it on a plate. I don't know how pretty that is. And you can add pepper, what have you, to taste. Where did my pepper go? So I have cats that like to knock stuff down. I have a dog that likes to chase them, and my pepper is on the stove right in front of me. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see that. Along with my mess. A little pepper. That is goulash. Cut them up your plate. Same here. Yeah, it's like you're looking for something you set on the counter and the cats knock it between like the fridge and the counter. It's you got to get a broom to get it out. Cats are fun like that. just like you do with dumplings or anything else, you just take a little bite off of it. Take the bread with the goulash. And you can cut the chunks of meat smaller if you want. As long as they fit on a fork, you're pretty good. Where they're at right now is pretty good. They're tender. You can cut them with a spoon, with a fork, whatever. The problem a lot of people make when they cook something like this is they will cook it too long for too high. There's another picture of it. I would move it over that burner, but that burner's kind of hot. Let it cool off. What happens when you do that is your meat gets too tough. So that's why I turned the heat down a little bit and why I didn't cook it for too long. There's certain dishes that you want to cook longer, but it's kind of like the longer you cook it, the lower you want your heat. And people will have it up there way too high. It's like anything else, one of the most common mistakes with cooking is people turn their heat up too high. Like with frying chicken. You turn your heat up too high, it will look beautiful, but it's not going to be cooked. Or with bacon, or with anything else. Low and slow, yes. Our slow cookers are good too. I think I might make something like kapuzniak this weekend. Either that or like pork and sauerkraut. I don't know. I kind of thought about leek stew or leek soup, leek stew, whatever you want to call it. That's not hard to make either. I haven't made that in a while. My plate's not sitting level. And thank you, Krabby Turtle. It is delicious. You notice there's no noodles. Oh, that version's not bad either. That's just more of an American thing, and it's real popular here in Texas. And it's basically spaghetti with macaroni noodles. It's not bad. I have no idea what that cat's doing. Where's the other dog? What are you doing? Oh, you smell food? Do the leek stock soup. That's good stuff. I might do that. Leeks, you got to be real careful because it's like anything else that grows in the ground. It's one thing to pick fruit and vegetables off something, you got to wash them. But anything that grows from the ground, especially leeks. And they're in like layers around each other. You have to take it apart and clean it really, really good. Because no matter what store you get them from, there's going to be dirt in there. You have to take them apart, clean them, and then it's like you kind of fold them back. I have a video where I showed that. But if I cook that this weekend, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you kind of unpeel it. You wash it real good as you're unpeeling it. And then you put it back together, and then you chop it up. Good night, Krabby Turtle. I'm getting off here too because I've got to be basically just about out the door in about 6 hours. So it's my life. I usually fight for like 4 hours of sleep. But you don't have to have Czech dumplings to have goulash or anything like that. You can just use regular bread. Put some butter on it. But I'm going to see about ordering some like you would actually get, like someone would buy in the store over there. I may talk to, I got some friends over there. Like, I'll ask them what brands to get. And see if I can order some. If you wonder what I'm drinking, I have coffee and I also have a Coke. The cherry vanilla Coke and a coffee. So none of this is really healthy, I guess. Well, the goulash isn't not healthy. It's good food. Better than anything you're going to get from fast food, that's for sure. Healthier for you. You're hungry again. Awesome. I did my job. But I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for watching. If you could hit that like button on your way out, that would be awesome. If anyone's not subscribed, watching this now or later, please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Hell, if you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Just hit something. Anyways, thank you so much. I will catch y'all later. And I'll probably put another poll up, but I'm thinking I might do the leek soup. It's probably either going to be leek soup or something like cabbage, some kind of cabbage soup, one or the other. My washer sounds weird. I need to check it out. But I will catch y'all later. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and hit that red button now. Thank you for watching. Y'all are awesome. Bye-bye.